It's the half-quarter past late night Nite talk show, and here's your host, Bryant Heatherly. Welcome everyone. We've got a great show tonight. Our show sponsor for this evening is Cannibal's Chicken Noodle Soup, now with 20% more kidneys. And our guest tonight is a personal friend of mine and a very secret guest. We'll meet him later. Just know that if you have not watched a certain show that's been on AMC this past couple weeks, or months, years, a couple years even, that it will be spoiled for you. But let's just start off with a little bit of news. A Nevada judge is working on O.J. Simpson's court ruling from about 20 years ago. I thought that was done that time, but I guess she could always use his If I Did It book as part of her evidence. Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick was kicked out of office this past week and sentenced to 28 years in prison for corruption. And it only took 2 RoboCop remakes to do it. Well, if you include the cartoon, maybe 3. Captain Phillips came to theaters this past weekend. I saw the trailer on TV, and I was just like, man, they're giving away the whole movie's plot. Whatever happened to spoilers? And then I had to be told that it really happened. Nicolas Cage was actually named Best Global Actor by a Chinese award ceremony. I guess when it comes to acting, the Chinese don't really care how good the acting is, just how many movies they can make in 1 year. Speaking of, anyone catch Nick Cage while he was down in Mobile this summer? The movie had something to do with Russian bad guys and a gang, I'm not sure. But all we know is Mobile's the perfect place to find Russian bad guys. One Direction shared childhood photos of themselves to the world this week. Now they have pictures of themselves when they were the age of their fans. Screaming preteen girls everywhere have never been happier. A British company is working on making fire alarms sexy. Nothing says sexy like all of your worldly possessions set to flame. And I think they might have been mixed up. Firefighters are supposedly sexy, not fire alarms. I don't think there's anything sexy about beep, beep, beep. The government shutdown has been going on these past 2 weeks. Now the government can go to timeout and think about their actions. And they can also be around the kind of people that act like they behave. Little bitty tantrum toddlers. Pokemon X and Y came out this weekend. Of the video games that have been coming out, this is the one I've been most happy about, and I'm actually surprised I'm here instead of playing it. I know everyone else around my age and demographic are locked in their rooms. Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back with an interview with my special guest and personal friend, Colgan Meaner. See. Colgan.
Bryant.
Oh, our audience loves Breaking Bad. I mean, their applause just deafened the room.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience on set?
My experience on set as a stunt double for
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah. Well, you know, lots of dangerous things happened in the show, and I got to, stand in for a lot of dangerous things. The worst thing that I remember off the top of my head was the day that we were reenacting the scene from Lord of the Rings where the spider came down and got Frodo through the back and spun him up, and then the orcs came and got him. That one was a real challenge for me, acting wise and as a stunt double.
Who played the spider in that? Was
it was Anna Gunn, who plays Skylar on the show. She's magnificent. She's a wonderful actress.
I can see. I mean, you'd have to be to make us hate you.
Yeah, and especially as a spider and a person.
Yes. So that was the most dangerous stunt?
That was the most dangerous stunt.
So how did you land this gig as Bob Odenkirk's stunt double?
Well, I remember I was at Dunkin' Donuts one day, and I was Vince Gilligan, the writer, creator, director of the show, was in the restaurant, and he just walked up to me and said, "Hey, you look a little bit like someone on my show. Would you mind coming and working with me?" And as they say, that was history.
Yes. How often did you interact with Bob? Because you were stunt double for his Saul Goodman character, right?
Yes, his Saul Goodman character. Once or twice, talked to him maybe once about his family, about how he's doing. He didn't really seem to know me at all. He didn't seem familiar with my work as an actor. And that's okay. It's a learning experience.
What did you do to prepare yourself for this role?
To prepare myself. I mean, I'll be completely honest with you, I didn't prepare myself at all. I didn't know what I was doing. I kind of went in blind and just hoped for the best. And, what you see on the show is some pretty spectacular work, if I do say so myself. Mm-hmm. So I hope that it shows how much work I did.
Yes. Aaron Paul, on his Twitters, Reddits, whatever's, social media things, he talks about all the time how Bryan Cranston would play pranks on set. Were you ever part of these?
No.
No? Did you ever get to meet either?
No.
Are there any
No.
So you didn't get to meet?
No.
Not even?
No.
Vince Gilligan?
No. Except at Dunkin' Donuts, of course. But after that, I wasn't allowed to speak to Mr. Gilligan.
Who interacted with you to help you with your scenes?
My agent.
So your agent, just no one else?
Right.
So what about the scenes that needed the rest of the cast? Was it just the stunt double party?
It was just CGI.
Just CGI?
Yeah. Because television and film has come a really long way in a very short amount of time. So what you saw on screen when I was on screen, I was acting as Bob Odenkirk's stunt double for Saul Goodman. It's actually pretty miraculous that the entire world around me was not only built in a computer rendering system, but also the characters in the scene.
All right. Do you have any relation to the show, such as, I don't know, maybe an ex-meth addict, or might watch the show?
No.
Or a disenfranchised evil lawyer who's not really evil?
No. I mean, I've never even seen the show, to be completely honest.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't watch one episode.
Not even the ones you were in?
No. Well, I mean, I watched a commercial for one when I watched Low Winter Sun this past season. So I saw the commercial, stay tuned for Breaking Bad, but I was only in it for Low Winter Sun.
Yes, I hear that show's ratings have started.
Yeah, it's a brilliant show.
It is.
And I hope I get asked to work on that.
Everyone. Now, so you had no interaction. Were you even on set during your scenes?
No, I wasn't. Brian, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not Bob Odenkirk's stunt double. I don't know where you got that information, actually.
I was told by our booking agent that you were Bob Odenkirk's stunt double.
I think you may have me confused with someone else.
Who are you?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Hi, I'm Colgan Meaner. Nice to meet you.
Bryant Heatherly, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
What do you do for a living?
I don't.
You don't?
Yeah, I just, wherever the wind takes me.
Are you related to a homeless man that we've had on the show before? Some biologist guy?
Maybe. I think we're all related in a certain way.
Are you his weatherman friend that eats outside the Applebee's with him?
No, that's not me. That's my roommate.
That's your roommate?
Yeah.
Interesting. But I thought you were... Oh, I have no idea.
You don't know who I am, so I mean...
I don't know who you are. You could be telling me lies.
I could be. It's easy to lie on television.
Sparkle. Okay, we'll be right back with Colgan Meaner talking about more Breaking Bad. Stay tuned.
The following is a remarkable tale of an extraordinary man, a man of legend, a man whose accomplishments are so expansive that his story cannot be told in a mere 5 minutes. This man is not him. This is Pete. We hate Pete. Rather, this is the story of Dr. Frederick Mustache III. His father was also a doctor, as was his father before him. His great-grandfather was a tree. Someone once asked Dr. Mustache exactly what kind of doctor he is. Sadly, that person is no longer with us. The doctor is a very refined gentleman, an expert musician, and a master of games both great and small. Let us now take a glimpse into the life of Dr. Mustache.
Where did I put my keys? Keys. Where are my keys? Hey, honey! Have you seen my keys?
There, where you left them?
Thanks.
No problem.
Where? Oh, there they are. Welcome back to Half Quarter Past Late Night Talk Show. I'm still here with Colgan Meaner. We had a little fun before the break of talking about Breaking Bad, and I'm going to do something that I don't normally do. We're going to have a serious interview. Well, not really interview. We're just going to talk about our favorite TV shows. So, welcome back, Colgan Meaner.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking
Oh my
Bad.
God.
Yeah.
Spoilers, by the way, people. So
Yeah.
cover your ears, sing la-di-da, turn to channel 28. Just, if you haven't seen the show, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, what do you want to talk about first? Because this is such an incredible TV show.
Let's talk about the end. Let's talk about the series finale.
Okay. Were you satisfied? I don't mean to be leading the interview right now, but were you satisfied?
Yes and no.
No?
You know? It's the Jesse's still there. What happens to Jesse kind of thing. He drives off.
Well, I think he drives off and joins the production for Need for Speed, the movie.
Yes, there's that.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, though, I mean, I think that's all the closure we need on Jesse is to see that he's happy and he's free.
Yeah.
After a year of torment. I mean, how horrible would that be?
How did you feel on the carpentry scene?
The carpentry scene? With the woodworking?
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful callback to something that was just kind of a throwaway thing at the beginning.
I mean, like, were you like, what's going on? Or that's what I was thinking. I was like, is he dead? Is this a dream?
I wasn't thinking he's dead. I was just thinking this is the show just reminding us that Jesse is still alive and he's still a kid with dreams and hopes.
I love all the callbacks that they did with the last season.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
With the whole gray matter thing, especially.
Yeah, like that came out of nowhere. I was not expecting them to mention gray matter ever again.
Yeah. But I'm glad they did because it made for a really awesome cold opening for the show.
The two greatest hitmen this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah. Oh, Badger and Skinny Pete.
I was hoping they'd be back.
Yeah, I'm glad that they were back. I was satisfied with that bit because it seemed like it was going to be Walter White being cold Heisenberg as usual, but it was just kind of another funny gag.
Do you think he was Heisenberg in the end, or do you think he was Walter White?
I really don't think he was either, because I think the way that they portrayed him in that last episode made him feel like kind of a ghost. He kind of wandered around. He was out of sight, out of mind for most of the people until the very end when he really confronted Jack and Todd. I don't think he really had much of a presence, and that's kind of what the show was I think saying about Walter White and about kings and emperors and how they fade to nothing in the end.
Well, and that chess scene in was it the third to last episode? Where it was a throwaway little thing with the fire station.
Yeah,
Put Holly.
yeah.
And it's the king moves.
Yeah, and Ozymandias.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. He still has moves left.
Yeah. Oh, did you expect him to save Jesse?
I did.
Like he did.
I think everyone. I think that's what we all wanted for sure. Because the Walter Jesse relationship is like the best one in the show.
Yeah, father-son relationship. Basically.
Exactly. And I was happy to see that he saved him. I don't know if I expected it.
Yeah.
I
mean,
think
once he saw that he suffered and wasn't doing it on his own free will.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like a premeditated like I'm gonna have to save Jesse thing. It seemed like I have an opportunity to save Jesse. I'm gonna take it. And I think Jesse recognized that in his last moments with Walter as well.
He's like, "What are you doing? You're attacking me! Holy crap! Everyone's dying!"
Yeah. Which was an awesome scene though.
It was. And then Todd got his just desserts.
Yeah, Todd, as he's
So
coming up from the
creepy.
window, he goes, "Mr. White, I think there's a machine gun in that car."
Yeah, who's attacking us?
Yeah.
It's childish. I mean,
Todd is one of the more interesting characters
Yeah.
in the most recent season as well, because he's such a creepy person with no emotions and no personality.
But I feel like he can't help it though that he was just raised.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see that. And when you're raised with Jack and
Yeah.
the situation that he's in, I could definitely see Todd growing up to be cold like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, I've seen parallelisms between Jesse and Todd. That Todd was the kind of assistant that Walter would have wanted instead of Gail.
Yeah.
Like he was like Jesse minus all the emotions that he went through after Jane.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, but that's the beautiful thing about Jesse as a character though, is that
He grows.
In such a really awesome way, and he comes back from that too. He comes back from everything that happened to Jane, and he with Andrea and Brock, and
Andrea.
which is also sad. Another great Todd moment though. This isn't personal. So
This isn't personal.
yeah.
What do you think happened to Brock though? Do you think he went to live with his grandmother and just?
Probably,
I feel like Jesse would have sought him out after he escaped.
I don't think Jesse would have I think he probably would have wanted to see him, but I
Yeah.
don't think he would have been like come with me, Brock. It's time to go. I think he definitely would have wanted to see him though, which makes me happy. I'm glad Jesse would get that.
Yeah, I mean he's just, and we've just been talking about the last season. I mean,
Yeah.
Jack was a villain out of nowhere, and but no, and then with Giancarlo Esposito, his
Oh.
Gus Fring,
Brilliant,
brilliant.
absolutely brilliant. I mean, what an incredible actor.
I mean, and some of the things that he said resonated with the Heisenberg, with Walter White of the Laters,
Yeah.
a man cares for his family, whether or not he's loved, whether or not he's respected.
A man provides.
A man provides.
Yeah, and that's brilliant though, because it really is. It's really amazing how much they created the likeness between Heisenberg and Gus Fring. And what I found interesting about season 4 of Breaking Bad was that towards the end I totally found myself almost rooting for Gus Fring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever stopped rooting for Walter, but I was like maybe there's a way they can work it out, right?
Yeah. Gus versus the Mexican cartel versus Walter versus Gus.
Yeah, the way they set up Gus as a likable character though was really brilliant, and they where they had the flashback to him going to the cartel for the first
Yes.
time, and his partner getting killed right there in front of him. Holy, wow!
Yeah.
And that's the moment I was like Gus Fring is a real person, and I feel bad for him.
I mean, with his wolf in sheep's clothing, he and Walt, they would have never gotten caught if not for each other.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also one of the brilliant things about it though, is that Gus's undoing is the same as Walt's undoing, and it's his pride and his hubris and his ego, and that's exactly how Walt pushed himself out of his own equation, and Gus had to say those last words to Hector Salamanca. He had to be there to watch him die.
He had to be there to gloat that I killed all of your family. You were all alone.
And
Ding, 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 ding.
and Walt could recognize that about Gus, but he could never recognize that about himself.
And I think Gus could recognize that about Walt too, that Walt is kind of like a protege. That this is what I used to be,
Absolutely.
and which is why
He's
he
a
was
problem,
threat.
and
Yeah.
he has to be taken care of. And it's the same. And they both have the same kind of relationship with Jesse. They're like, I can use Jesse, and that's so crazy.
Or you look at Jesse, and he apparently needs to be surrounded by bald, middle-aged, older men.
Yeah. Another great moment in the most recent season was the almost awkward hug with Dean Norris and Aaron Paul, where they got in the car after he pulls him out from Walt's house, and he's like putting the seatbelt on him, and it looks like he's going in for a hug, like there, it's okay, but he's really just putting the seatbelt on.
And he was like, "You don't have to burn their house down. We can bring him down together."
Yeah. Which was a very interesting way for the show to go.
I mean, Gomi was always one of my favorite characters, and then to see that Hank was just like, "I'm just going to use Jesse," and Gomi's like, "Well, he's a person."
Yeah.
So,
That's sad. That's pretty much his role in the show, though, was to be used by other people.
yeah,
But he played it brilliantly.
he was amazing. Well, we took up about 10 minutes talking about this. Is a great show, everyone. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry that it's been spoiled. If you have, I'm pretty sure you love this conversation as well. But I don't even feel like being funny anymore for the rest of this show. But I will see you next week. Our audience will see you next week. You can contact us at some random number that I'm about to make up off the top of my head.com, or you can call us at jagtv.southalabama.edu or something like that. But join us next week. We'll have a great show. We'll have The Rock and Paul McCartney playing a concert for us. But we'll see you next week. I did not know how.
Cannibals chicken noodle soup, now at 20% more kidneys.